Hello everyone, welcome back. I asked my community to submit would you rather questions regarding Genshin Impact that they were interested in me answering. If you guys have any questions that you see that aren't in this video, feel free to leave them down below and we could use those for a would you rather number 2 regarding Genshin Impact. Now let's get right into the video. The first question we have is, would you rather have 100,000 Primo Gems or infinite resin? I think in this case, I'm gonna have to pick infinite resin. 100,000 primos would be nice. It would be absolutely amazing. But we are enabled up to like 10k primos each update. So after 10 updates, you're going to get that much anyways. But resin, having infinite resin would be so good for artifact grinding and talent books. Especially because I never grind. I've not once in the last 5 or 6 months done a talent book domain, because I just don't like doing them. I would rather get artifacts or get Mora or get level up books. I never do talent books. So I would love to be able to have infinite resin so that I don't have a, I guess, system or currency system that forces me to only be able to do things a limited amount of time. So getting rid of that would be a lot better in my opinion than having 100,000 Primo Gems. Question 2 asks, would you rather have 1 C6 5-star or 7 C0 5-stars? So I guess this refers to the fact that you need to pull a character 7 times to have them at Constellation 6. And in my opinion, I think having 7 C0 5-stars is much better than having 1 C6. Yeah, C6 makes a character the strongest they can possibly be for the most part, but when you have 7 unique characters, I think it makes the game a lot more interesting because it's not going to become stale too fast. You have a bunch of different elements and team compositions you could work with, and those 7 characters can be completely different builds. One could be a DPS, one could be a support, another one could be a healer. So it gives you a lot of variety to play with 7 C0 5-stars as opposed to only playing with 1 C6 5-star, as you don't really know who else you could build around that C6 5-star other than like some 4-star supports, you know, the basic Bennett, Xiangling, Xingqiu, those kind of characters. But let's move on. Question 3 asks, would you rather join the Fatui or join the Abyss? Oh, see, I love antagonist groups like the Akatsuki from Naruto and the Phantom Troop from Hunter x Hunter. So I think for me it would have to be the Fatui. They are so dripped out in the Winter Night Lazo trailer, and I would love to have one of those cloaks myself, not gonna lie. So I would probably join the Fatui. I just think all of them are pretty badass, especially my boy Capitano. I love Capitano. He is my second most anticipated character in the game. So I'm gonna have to go with the Fatui. I'll be honest. The Abyss is cool. The heralds are sick. The stuff we just got from the most recent trailer for 3.5 looks really cool, but I gotta go with the Fatui. And then I get a delusion too. Oh, okay, you know, I'm sold on the Fatui. Question 4 asks, would you rather have Varka become playable but Capitano does not, or vice versa? So have Capitano become playable but Varka does not. I just mentioned Capitano is my second most anticipated character in the game, but Varka is my most anticipated character in the game, and so I have to say, you know, let Varka become playable, and Capitano can just go for story plot, I guess. You know, it's really tough because if a character is made playable, they can actually be ruined as opposed to if they were just involved in the story. Like Varka or Capitano, either one can have an amazing cutscene that makes them look so badass and so strong, and then they become playable and they're just not quite as cool as they were in the cutscene. So there is a chance either of these characters becoming playable can absolutely ruin them, but because I'm so interested in wanting to play Grandmaster Varka, I have to go with Varka as my playable character, and Capitano can get relegated to having a super cool cutscene. That sounds good to me. Question 5 asks, would I rather have all of Mondstadt be released or all of Liyue? This is a pretty easy one for me because I think for Liyue, the only part we have left is Well, I guess, oh, the Blackcliff Forge area of Liyue could be really cool because I love that, like, the forgery designs, or I know it won't be based on, like, you know, ancient dwarven stuff like the likes from the Lord of the Rings or Skyrim, but I love that forge area of games. It's just so cool. But the rest of Mondstadt, having Dormant Port, the Dandelion Sea, potentially the Black Castle area, if that is something that exists, I would love the rest of Mondstadt to be released in comparison to Liyue, because I think Liyue has Qiaoying Village, which will connect to Fontaine, and the Blackcliff Forge area, and I'm not too interested in the village, but for Blackcliff Forge, I'm extremely interested in that area. But I think Dormant Port and the Dandelion Sea outweigh that so much more for me, and so I would have to give it to Mondstadt, mainly because that's my favorite region in the game right now. Question 6 asks, would you rather be forced to team with Bennett or be forced to team with Klee? So I guess from a standpoint in which we're an actual character in Genshin Impact, like we live in the Genshin Impact verse, would I rather go adventuring with Bennett or would I rather go adventuring with Klee? And now if I go adventuring with Klee, I feel like I'm going to be more of a babysitter to her, like kind of, you know, that older brother role like Albedo plays. And if I go with Bennett, it could honestly be a fun time. It could be a fun time. It might be extremely unlucky. We might get bashed and beatered all over the place. But I think I'm going to pick Bennett because I think I would get along more with Bennett. Like with Bennett, I could have a chill one-to-one. You know, we could crack jokes. We could have fun like that. With Klee, I have to babysit her, and I have to be worried about her blowing everything up. So I would rather go with Bennett as opposed to go with Klee. Question 7 asks, would you rather convert all your Mora into Primogems or all your current Primos into Mora? Oh, this is easy. I have 22 million Mora right now. I would love to convert all of my current Mora into Primogems. You know, I think the only time you would ever convert all your current Primos into Mora is if you've just leveled up all of your characters and maybe you only have a couple thousand Mora left and you really need it and you're sitting on maybe only 16k or 20k, even 20k Primos. Converting all of that into Mora just doesn't seem worth it. So I would 100% convert all of my current Mora into Primogems. Having 22 million Primogems, I could just start C6ing characters outright every single time they release. I would never have to wail on the game. That's just the best of both worlds. Honestly, 22 million. I don't even know. Somebody do the math in the comments down below. How many C6 5-stars can you get with 22 million Primogems? Question 8 asks, would I rather wish for Hu Tao or Yelan? So I guess this is coming up the current banners that are about to end. Of course, Hu Tao and Yelan. For me, I would rather wish on Yelan. Hu Tao's cool. I like the vape team. It does a lot, but Yelan just looks so badass, bro. I love the way Yelan looks. Her E skill to get around is really useful. She works on a lot of different teams as opposed to being DPS like Hu Tao. You could actually fit Yelan into a bunch of different teams with different DPSs. So I would much rather pull for Yelan. And who knows, maybe I'll drop 10 or 20 before the banners end, as I currently have a lot of fates saved up right now. Question 9 asks, would you rather be a scholar or a knight of Favonius? Now you see, being a scholar is quite cool and all, you know, you get to hang out with the academia and stuff like that, but I've never been one, even in real life, I've never been one to like the scholar activities as opposed to being a knight of Favonius. No, it's almost like, would you rather go to Hogwarts or go to Middle Earth, right? It's kind of like that same thing, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and I would much rather go to Middle Earth, participate in that world as opposed to going to Hogwarts and, you know, studying and having to do school stuff. So for me, 100% knight of Favonius. I would love to take care of Mondstadt, you know, be a part of its prime force, maybe, you know, maybe even work my way up to a captain position in the Knight of Favonius. Why not? I think that would be so much more fun, in my opinion, and that's what I would love to do. And the final question, question 10 asks, would you rather exile Ayaka or Ayato from Inazuma? I think, okay, so hear me out. Ayaka wants to travel. She wants to explore the world, but she feels held back by her responsibilities to the clan that she can't actually go out and have these fun activities. Whereas Ayato, he's already more of a mature adult. He's already running the family. You know, he has a lot of important positions in Inazuma's political system. So I would rather exile Ayaka, because I feel if you exile Ayato, Inazuma's politics are going to fall to the ground. But if you exile Ayaka, it could actually be a good thing, because she'll finally get out and be able to explore the world and have a lot of fun. I can see her having so much fun in like the Sumeru area, stopping by the Academia, maybe going into the desert, or even Fontaine. When Fontaine releases, that seems like a pretty good place for exploration that Ayaka would just have so much fun in. So I would exile Ayaka, because I think it would benefit her in the long run. Maybe she could even learn a lot more about the outside world, and then if the exile is ever canceled, perhaps she can come back and help Inazuma's political system when she takes over from Ayato. But I think exiling Ayato is just a huge mistake, and so we'll give it to Ayaka so she can go out and do stuff. But with that being said, those are the 10 would you rather questions that our community submit. Again, if you guys have any questions you would like to see me answer, put them in the comment section down below, and we could use that for a would you rather number 2 video. I hope you guys did all enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we have a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. And I would love for you to join us all on this Genshin journey. And with that being said, I'll get up out of here for the day, and I will catch you all later. So long, everybody.